Hey, what's up, guys? We are on SA Drummer Hangout, episode 4, and we have our good friend Ricco. One thing that people know you about really well is you're saying outside as well, chops.
Chops, yeah.
But what was interesting was we were expecting that stuff, but you came and just laid it down with like you actually played so little.
Yeah.
And then we spoke about, you know, how important it is for guys to know the difference between knowing when to chop and not to chop. Like, what's your approach? So especially with coming here where you knew that you knew that guys were going to expect you to play chops, but you still came and just musical, dude. Like, what is your mindset around knowing when and when not to?
It depends on the music.
Right.
First of all, like the music you're doing. Like the music I did is laid back, so you don't need to do much.
Right.
All you just need to do is just keep the groove. Like it's so nice playing a song without chopping, but just making it bigger.
Oh,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the first thing drummers should do. Is when you get on a gig, the first thing you must think is, how do I make the song bigger without chopping? Like, how do I put my presence in? So, you know, a lot of people, like I said, they know me, especially my presence is like for chopping and also being a hard hitter. But now I'm trying to show people like, yo, you can be, you know, one of the best by just making a song sound bigger and by just playing simple, without chops, without nothing. So, you know, the music that you play, it plays a huge role in how you chop or how you play a groove or whatever. So that's how I think, even at any show, because you know it's just not the Kwesta gig I do other gigs.
Exactly.
Where it's gospel, pop. I did a ballet gig at some point.
Right.
You know, and it was crazy. You know, you couldn't chop on that. So all you do, you just make sure that you play to a point where your presence is felt. You know,
Exactly.
so that's what I'm trying to do now, is just get away from the chops a little bit and just focus on, you know, being present.
Right.
You know, on the kid, and that plays like a big role.
Right.
Like it plays a big role. You like, cause even the artist will feel like, wow, like, you know, the drummer's actually playing what I want, and it sounds even bigger and more, you know, enticing to the ear.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's how I think, you know, in my head. Yeah, that's how I think. Even the chops thing. Chops are dope. I won't lie, chops are really good. They dope. I love them. Like if I had to, I'd chop the whole song, bro. Like if I had to, the whole show, the whole 45 minutes, I'd chop. But bro, even here's the other thing, even how people, the crowd, take it in.
Right.
Some don't understand chops.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So when you're doing chops, they just saying, what is this guy doing? You know, he sounds like he's just playing gibberish.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? So that's also what you have to take in. You know, like before you go on stage, you take in, what type of crowd.
Yeah.
First of all, the type of music, you know, and who the artist is, you know, and what the genre is. Yeah.
Right. I think that's such a cool balance, man. I think you get so many drummers where they either knock chops or they're all for chops. But I think having the best of both worlds is essentially what it is. But, and the biggest thing, I think, is knowing when and when not to.
That's exactly it.
That's
like your timing into doing chop. Because even the gig I do with Kwesta, people just see, because I just like to post the whole chop, and I don't post the whole show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't see the songs where I actually don't chop at all.
Right.
Like at all.
That's what I was gonna say, because I mean, I feel like a large part of that mentality is social media and Instagram.
Yeah.
Because we've spoken about it where we say like everyone posts the chops, all the hot stuff on like Instagram. You know, like, look at this, I'm ripping this. Look at this chop, shedding here, doing this. No one sits there playing a groove on
the 16
Instagram, because no one wants to watch that. But then what that leads to is people assuming that all you need to be doing is chopping all the time as well. So yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons people just don't understand. But yeah, okay.
bro. Like chopping, like I said, is dope.
Yeah.
But hey, some people just don't understand it. You know, that's why we posted on just the socials, because also it's just to attract following. It's
Exactly.
like, yo, I can do this, so
Yeah.
follow me. Let me show you more. But they don't actually see the whole show. You know, like what really happens. The first song, yes, chops. Second song, third song, fourth song, no chops. at all. It's just straight up. And that's how they want it. You know, that's how the artists want. Even if you are like, yo, I could add some nice lick, yeah, and you know, everybody will go crazy, but then you want to do it, but then you, oh man, this is a job. If I do it, they fire me, you know, they call the next person. But yeah, even your timing, like, where you put placements, where you put the chops is also important, you know. So that's why when I play, I actually like to play on accent.
Yeah.
So I accent everything, especially what Kwesta says or what Flame says or whatever artist I play for.
Man, I love that.
When they sing, I listen to what they sing and how the range of the notes and whatever, and then I can, when I'm practicing, I can go and say, okay, they hit a high note there, so let me just, instead of hitting the crash, let me hit the splash with, you know, the floor tom, just to make it sound bold, you know. So
love
that's
that.
how drummers should be thinking, you know, not only being free playing, but you also need to be very technical when it comes to the gig, and like you need to know from point A to B, the song is like this, the volume is this much, this how the singer is going, and this is what the guitarist is doing, this, because as a drummer you need to listen to everyone, right? Like everyone on stage, like not just only you, even the sound engineer, you got to listen to him, you know, you got to listen to how he mixes and how, so that you get all those, you know, small details, technical small details. That's how it helps. That all helps when it comes to your playing. It helps
for sure.
a lot, but also listening as well. You know, because a lot of drummers, man, they good, but they don't listen. That's
everything, dude.
That's the craziest thing. You get to a gig, like I was saying, you get to a gig and then you don't know these kids, but the kids know you. And then they want to go on stage and do what? They want to show off.
Oh yeah.
And then they lose it. Like they lose the whole taste of the playing of the song or whatever. They lose everything. They just lose it. So discipline as well.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Discipline.
100%, man.
Discipline is like the most important thing. But yeah, that's when it comes to discipline, that might take like 2 hours. It's a 2-hour topic, because a lot of these cats don't understand the word discipline, especially in music, especially drummers. I'm gonna keep saying this. Drummers, especially up-and-coming drummers, they don't understand discipline.
Yeah.
They just want to go on.
I wanted to say, because I think we briefly mentioned that we were talking about like how you land specific gigs and how it's, sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's knowing the right person, sometimes it's being at the right place at the right time. But we said there's a difference to, you know, just getting that gig and then actually what you do when you have it, how to maintain that gig, how do you keep that gig. And I think that kind of ties in with what you're saying here, the whole discipline thing.
Discipline, also your attitude. As a drummer, as a person. As a person, your attitude, and also your hygiene, bro. Like, and no artist, especially a big artist, wants to work with someone who looks, you know, bad. Who smells bad or whatever. They don't want to do that. They don't want to associate. So, you know.
But it's also strange. That feels like that's not something you should even be like needing to mention.
You'll be surprised.
No, for sure.
I'm very surprised.
You were like there's gigs we went to, and you know, you get the musicians that side, and then you're like, dang, what's that smell, bro? And then nobody wants to sit at that table at that point, you know, and then from there you lost the gig.
Crazy,
you know,
man.
or if you wanted that gig and I brought you through as a friend, and then you know your hygiene is not right and your attitude is not right. By the time we come to the artist just, they don't even need to say anything to you. They're just gonna look at you. Oh, this your homie? And then they come back to me. Yeah, your homie. Nah, you know.
Okay.
And he's dope.
Exactly.
He's really good, but because of that, you know, they lose it.
It's crazy.
They lose it.
It reminds me of a conversation I had with one of the artists in the band that I play for currently still, and we're driving somewhere just to a gig, And we were just randomly discussing how much time you actually spend off stage, how crazy it actually is. So we're talking about, guys with bad attitudes and all the stuff we're mentioning. And if you put into perspective, a lot of guys think that. They're like, oh, I'm good. Why is this artist? But let's say you're driving for 6 hours, then you've got sound check, then you've got, set up, then sound check, and then, so you're spending hours upon hours around the people you work with.
Yeah.
On stage, you're playing hour and a half set, and then it's back in the car. So, like, especially if the dude is stinky, bro.
Yeah,
It's actually worse. But I think that's highlighted of how important it is with all these little things besides your playing.
Yeah.
It's way more actually important because the amount of time off stage is the most significant amount of time. It's crazy.
Also, who you associate yourself after the gig.
Yeah.
Off stage, like who I'm not saying hang out with, but people that, especially in the music industry, who you talk to, artists watch that, because don't forget, there's artists who have, beef or whatever, or they don't like certain people, or they don't like certain clique.
Right.
A lot of musicians have to be careful with that, especially if you say, I'm gonna play for this artist, you gotta know where they come from. You gotta do that whole research, bro. Like,
crazy, man.
You gotta, first song they ever did, you gotta know that.
Right.
First homies they chilled with, you gotta know that. You gotta know how this person likes to eat, how this person likes to drink, so that once you are part of that band, you have similar, traits. So it doesn't be the whole time that when we go to a gig overseas or wherever, one of the guys is not there chilling or hanging out with us when we're having lunch or whatever, because of they don't feel like they need to be. That also is like a minus to them, because it's like, so you don't have the family quality in you. You just here for the money,
right?
So this is your last gig. Don't come back. That's how they do it, bro.
Intense, man. Yeah.
That's really how they do it. A lot of musicians don't know that, unfortunately. They like you said, they just know that I'm good. I'm gonna get gigs. Yeah,
that should be it.
There's a whole lot. There's like 20% is the gig. 80%, bro, is what happens behind
everything off stage.
It's that. Also how you talk to people.
Right. That's huge.
Musicians, I also went through that phase where I had, the pride thing. I ain't gonna talk to them. They ain't nothing. Check who I'm playing with.
Right.
And that kind of almost, for some weird reason, it almost made me lose some of the jobs I had.
Yeah,
they also look at that. Don't think they don't look at that. Don't think these artists don't go on your Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. They do. That's how I got the Flame gig as well. He went on my Twitter, on my Instagram. He went and he followed me. It was like, okay, this guy is cool. I see people that he hangs with. He hangs with proper, people. He doesn't just hang with, guys in the hood or whatever, drinking the whole week and then he just gigs. No, he hangs with people that he works with. He's either in studio or he's practicing or he's doing another gig. So that's what they want to see. That's what they want to. They want to associate with themselves with that. That's how artists. They're legit. If you're winning, they want to be where you're at. They want to be with the winning team. That's it. That's how it is. So also association, bro. All of that, it helps. It helps. It could build you, it could destroy you.
And that association thing you mentioned is huge, man.
Yeah.
And I think also a lot of guys forget that when you're playing for an artist, it's not just a job.
Yeah.
Like, I always take in mind of how, like you said, you're representing that artist.
Yeah.
And it's so important. So even in your personal life, you sometimes have to think like, okay, I'm known to play with this artist. How's it going to look if I'm doing this, and this? That's a bit. Not saying I'm not saying I do dodgy stuff. Always done with other people. But you know what I mean. So it's you got to always think, man. Like, how is it gonna look? If I am, let's say it's like an artist that's off with girls as meet as the gig's over.
Yeah.
How does that make the artist look?
Yeah.
You know, so I keep that in mind a lot when I'm on a gig or off a gig.
Yeah.
Like, how do people portray you? Because if, let's say, I'm sitting around drummers and I'm this, let's say, horrible person, immediately I affect the artists I work with. Because they go like, oh, that is really not a cool guy.
Yeah. That means
that artist can't. What is it? Artist vibe like if he is with this guy most of his time, you know. So it's such a huge thing that you brought up. It's really, really
it is
cool.
that thing. I mean, there's been points where I wanted to post something on social media. Maybe I'm in a bad mood. I don't know. Maybe something happened today and I want to prove a point about something. And I think about posting something and you type it up, you get everything ready, and as I'm about to hit send or like post or whatever, I'm like, but you know what? I'm going to post this and people are going to be looking at the people you play for and they're going to say, oh, but this guy's associated with that guy. And now they're going to take your views or whatever you've said in anger or whatever, stick it to that guy and you're going to lose your job, man.
Yeah, that's how
well, maybe you won't. Maybe that won't happen, but the risk is there, dude. And it leaves a sour taste, man. No, you're right. Like, I've done that as well, actually, thinking about it.
It's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy because even I'd see musicians doing that, and automatically I'll be like, same WhatsApp group, you know, they all together. That means they do that.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So even when I post, I'm really careful now. You know, sometimes I don't even post at all. I'll just keep stuff to myself. Sometimes I don't even go out that much like I used to. You know, I don't go out to go party or whatever. Because now you understand. Now you're no longer you. You're no longer Ricco. You know, you are bigger than yourself now. Now you're a brand because of that. Because of the brand you're playing for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you represent that. Now people don't see Ricco anymore. Yeah. Now they see Kwesta or they see whatever company you're under. That's what they see. So if whatever your attitude or your attitude outside of the gig also plays a huge role.
That's massive.
It's one of the it will make you or destroy you. That's how it is. It's set in stone. It's being set in stone.
Exactly.
Like whatever you do, it will affect you.
Yeah.
It will. It will, especially if you're a person that's in the media now a lot. You're in the limelight. Whatever you do, brother, it will stick to you forever. Like a leech. Yeah, it will do that.
It's a huge thing, man. That reminds me of a story that I heard a while ago. I won't mention names, but same thing, man. Certain guitarist had an opportunity for a really cool gig and know the dude well, and I know, like, man, he's Facebook, and it's such a cool discussion we're having because guys don't think that far down, like, what I do on Facebook affect me getting gigs, you know? And I know him very well, so there's a thing of always weird statuses or a lot of swear words or a lot of just talking dirty, you know, like not good language. And he lost the gig because of that. The artist literally went to his Facebook page checking like, this guy, I don't know, man. And it was like a really clean, you know, artist. So when they saw that, they were like, no, we can't.
Yeah, they don't want to associate with themselves with something that's not them.
Exactly. Probably like one of the nicest guitarists in the country, and that I think puts it in such huge perspective. It wasn't like an average player. This dude is a great player.
But they don't give a they don't give a damn, bro. They'd rather go get a guy that's still learning his ABCs.
Dude, I've been told this by so many people I've worked with.
Yeah, just because he is friendly.
Let's say, for instance, we got someone who's now leaving the group for whatever reason, musician or roadie or tech or whatever, man. And they say, cool, well, I've got this other guy who we're going to bring in. And then we do the first 2-3 shows. This guy's struggling, man. Struggling. But, like, he's a good vibe. And I'll ask him, I'll be like, is this what you want to do? He's like, dude, trust me. Like, I would rather spend a month on the road with this kid, teaching him, and have his good energy than work with that guy over there who knows exactly what he's doing, but he's just a drip, man.
Yeah, he's arrogant.
Like, it's not fun being around him, or it's a bad vibe, whatever, man. So yeah, dude, I've been told this by artists. Like, it's not even a secret that you need to have.
Bro, it should be in your back of the brain, back of your head. Like, as soon as you get your first gig, all those laws, they actually should write a law about that, bro.
Like the 10 commandments of just being a musician.
Like, yo, this is what you have to do in order for you to have a gig, to stick to a gig, or to get a gig. You know, this is what you need to do. You know, all of that, all those things that we'll talk about. Those are really important.
Massive, man. It's crazy, and it's almost like you don't even have so much time to gain that experience. That's why discussions like these are so important for like the younger guys, especially. Even some older musos. You don't never got to. But it's crazy. It's you got to work on that as much as you're playing.
Yeah.
And that's scary. I think guys are playing too much, and like we said, now they get to the point of they can play whatever. Yeah. And they feel guaranteed, but someone needs to put out stuff like this, man. That is so much more.
I've seen top drummers lose their jobs to a person that just came out of school.
Exactly.
And just learned the ABCs on how to do that, and then they get the gig. The whole year is them. The other guy, he's gone. You're like, about how? They're like, nah, attitude.
Right, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like that, bro.
It's crazy, man. There's a story. I can never remember who the artist is or who the drummer was, but it's for an audition for a massive artist. You guys have probably heard about it. But with those level gigs, there are like rows of drummers at waiting to audition for those gigs, like tons. And it was such a crazy story. It kind of like circulated around musicians, because of how powerful it is. And literally the first drummer came in. I really can't remember the artist is, but the story's so cool. The first drummer comes in, the producer's there, or the show MD, and says, "Hey man, all I want you to do is play 1 and 3 on the kick, 2 and 4 on the snare, keep an 8th note groove. That's what I want you to do." So, okay, cool. First drummer, couple bars in, dude says, "Cool, thanks. We'll give you a call." Next drummer comes in, producer's like, "Hey man, 2 and 4 on snare, 1 and 3 on kick, 8th note groove." Plays, let's say halfway through the song. Cool, thank you. So literally, I think it was about, I don't know the numbers, but it was tons of drummers in. Now this MD's just like had enough, man. So he says it's such a tiny thing, but it's huge. This drummer comes in, MD says again, "Hey man, just 1 and 3 on the kick, 2 and 4 on the snare, 8th note hats." This is cool. Band starts. Apparently, dude, it was like half an hour later. This kid is just sitting, and the producer stops and says, "Thanks, man, got the gig."
That's how it is.
And the story behind it was because it wasn't because of what he's playing. The producer was like, "You listen to me."
Yeah.
So I didn't say do a full on beat 4 or bar 4. I didn't ask you to do a full into the chorus. What I asked for is what you played.
Yeah.
And you got the gig, because I know when I'm on the road with you and I'm MDing the show, I don't have to worry about a dude I kind of giving me trouble because I'm telling him not to fall there. I can work with you. Yeah. And that was literally it. I can work with this guy. You're going to listen to me. It's going to be pleasant. Thank you. And next thing you're on a world tour, So it's like, just from listening, being humble, having that attitude of like, I'm going to do the gig how it's supposed to be done or how it's said to be done. Yeah. So that's crazy, man.